Yeah, I don't have show notes.
Nobody's. Wait a second. We hit the record button. We did the clappies, and nobody is prepared.
Well, hold on. I thought John was.
Notes.
I thought he was taking over this episode, so I have not looked at the notes.
Yeah, he is taking over this episode.
Perfect.
So anyway, what is new with everybody? It's been a busy week. I know that.
Yeah. I feel. What?
Nothing. Nobody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I feel like I kind of forgot how to do this because I wasn't on the last episode.
Yeah, that's right.
Forgot.
It was. Did you listen to the last episode?
Yeah, I did. Well, I watched it on YouTube, and you guys didn't have very good views, which obviously.
Whatever. It was okay-ish views.
It was okay, yeah. But I got my last wisdom tooth pulled, so I couldn't record. So.
Yeah. Well, okay. I didn't specify why you couldn't make it, but I did say she'll be back in the next episode with her big smile, or something along those lines.
Yeah. So I'm here.
Explains the technical difficulties here at the beginning.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, what happened with that? But I'm blaming it on the fact that I didn't record last time, so I kind of forgot how to do it.
Well, that'll happen.
But I'm here. Yeah.
That's a good thing. We're glad you're back. Hopefully, this will be a fun episode. And Dad, what's new with you?
Oh, not much, but Mom and I did go to see what do they call it? A little jazz band that was playing up at the senior center, and jam is what I want to call it. And guys were pretty good, played some songs and, interesting,
Yeah,
There was a banjo there. There was a banjo and 3 guitars. One was electric, two of them was acoustic, but sounded good. That's all that matters, right?
You didn't get involved?
No.
Oh.
I mean, I was just sitting there listening. We were a company.
Okay. Hey, Dad, we're matching. Look.
L.
Oh, we got
L.
Oh, Gibson
Body
beats.
L.
Oh, we're twins.
Ow.
Sort of.
Yeah, Gibson all the way.
Oh, man, I can tell you this much. I have not done much of anything. I've been working. And, I normally do the intro, but I'm not going to do it today.
Yeah, take
I'm
the
not
day
going
off.
to do it. Yeah, I'm going to do that. But first, I got to play some music.
Go ahead.
Hello, everybody. Why is it playing a second time? You guys pranking me already? Hello, everyone. Welcome into this crazy episode already. Who is this crazy guy, and who is this voice that you're hearing? My name is John, and I have the privilege of being the guest host for this episode. Let me introduce everyone that you already know. Over on mic number 1, he's the guy who has a face for podcasting and a voice for radio, and the guy who keeps this all together, that's Tim.
What did you say? I appreciate that.
I don't know about
John.
face.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Welcome to this episode. I'm very excited because I'm going to leave now, and I'll see everybody in 2 weeks. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
And he is the pod father and the guitar father. That's Rick.
Podfather.
If it's not on a T-shirt, it didn't happen.
Yeah,
That's great.
that's Rick. How you doing, Rick?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. And over there on mic number 3, that way, that's Amanda. I will not say anything mean about her because she could kick my ass in real life. So we're moving on.
I doubt that's true.
Wow.
But we'll go with it.
Welcome in, everybody. This is going to be a special episode kind of commemorating 2 years worth of pandemic guitar podcasts. So, Tim has
Yeah.
graciously let me come back on. If you might remember, about a year or so ago, around this time, we did an episode called Guitar-pody, and I was the guest host for that one. And Tim asked me to come back and kind of do this 2-year anniversary episode. So I have some questions. We're just going to hang out and kind of have a fun conversation, just reminiscing about all things Pandemic Guitar Podcast. So, you guys want to jump into some questions?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm
Wow.
excited for this because
Yeah.
I mean, all I have to do is
Right on.
sit back and be like, yeah, I mean, fun.
Right on. So I have a list of questions, and we're just going to go through. So first one being, after 2 years, and we have 52 episodes now, what is everyone's favorite episode up to this point? If you guys can remember that far back.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a
That's
tough one.
hard.
Who wants to go? Yeah, who wants to go first on this?
I can.
Well, hold on, actually. Okay, I
Oh.
was going to ask John what his
right.
favorite episode was.
Oh.
Sure,
Okay.
I'll start it off.
Go ahead.
So
Yeah,
my
kick
my
off.
favorite episode has been episode 44, and it has one of the best titles, and it's called "The Best Episode Yet," because all three of you, just the family dynamic in that episode alone was just dialed up to 11 the whole time. You guys are just jabbing each other and little quirks and zingers to one another, and it was just. I laughed so hard for like the entire episode. That's my favorite one so far because it was just natural and you guys are just like having a good time. And like I have the receipts. I can show you my text message chain with Tim. I tell him after every episode, man, you guys have such a great product. You guys, you know, the family aspect and the knowledge that Rick brings with guitar. And then you guys just talk about so many cool things. I was like, I love every episode. That one's my favorite. Episode 44.
Wow,
That's kind of funny.
That's like huge
Yeah.
hearing this from like a non-family member, you know?
Yeah.
The only listener who's not a family member.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of a big deal.
Yeah,
And not from Finland. So
yeah, and not from
exactly.
That's
Finland.
I think okay, for me, do you want me to go?
Go ahead.
yeah, sure. Whoever.
Okay.
Like open conversation. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go pretty broad here. I'm just gonna say I like all of our like holiday themed episodes. I know that's vague,
yeah.
but I like when we have like a special like I don't know. I'm a female. I like the holidays, right? Any holiday, whatever. Any way I can jazz it up, right? Jazz hands.
Yeah.
That's, that was
There you
with
go.
that one Christmas episode that we did that I'm like, let's throw some music in there, which was an original piece by Rick, our father, but
Yeah.
it was so good. It got a copyright claim. Ooh.
That's how you know you've made it, though.
Right.
Right.
Made it where?
Well, yeah. Fair point. Fair point.
Yeah.
Rick, how about you? Your favorite episode so far?
I think all of them are good, but
Oh,
I think the
come on,
holiday.
You can't do
Yeah.
that.
That is the most dad
Okay.
answer right there.
Yeah.
Right, right. I would say.
I told him.
would say that
I told
the
him to say
holiday-
none of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, you
the
can't take that
holiday.
answer. I already said that.
Okay. How about episode 1? It was the beginning.
That was a good
Well,
episode. It was a
that-
good episode because we finally. How many months did we
Yeah.
sit here and talk about? Hey, we should do this. What do you think about doing this? Yeah, we should. And it was
Right.
months later before we're like, hey, we should either hit the record button or move on.
Right, and the jingle, it was holding me up. I came up with a few different ones, and I came up with like 3 of them, and I just picked that one and sent it over to you. And then you said, "Oh, I needed the end of it to go a lot longer." I'm like, "What?" So I did a dive bomb.
Because my thought process was that you kind of fade that outro, the end of that piece, you kind of
Right.
fade it out and then
Yeah.
come back in.
Yeah, so I redid that.
I'm surprised.
love-
I mean, the new one, yeah, I guess the first one, yeah, that's a good one. But I was thinking you were going to say something else.
But
I love that Rick loves the first one, but he didn't want to get started until he had the coolest riff possible. That's what was holding up the recording process.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
this has got to sound cool.
yep.
Get riffs, ricksriffs.com, and then just copyright that stuff.
Yeah, that was I did that on the Chevelle. So, I mean,
Cool.
Oh, that's
Hashtag
right,
not
you
sponsored.
did.
yeah, it's got the Floyd Rose on it, so you can do the dive bomb, the whole 9 yards with it. So, I just decided to do it on that.
Nice.
Cool.
How about
Tim,
you,
did you-
Tim? Favorite
yeah.
episode?
You haven't
I was
told-
actually kind of shocked. I know, Amanda, that makes sense, your answer for like the Christmas or the holiday themed shows, because you're girly. But I'm actually surprised
Cali
you didn't
girl.
go with the JB Brewbreaker episode.
Yeah.
Did you just call him JB Bluebaker?
Brew is
Baker.
brew, isn't it?
Brew.
Baker.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
thought I said.
Baker. Yeah.
Yeah,
Brew Baker.
I don't know. No. Mm-mm. No.
No?
Was that your favorite episode, or is that what you're getting?
No,
Okay.
no. I could do the same thing and say, well, I like almost all of them, because there are a few episodes over the course of 2 years that because keep in mind, we get together, we have our little chat, and then I have to go through it for, if it's an hour-long episode, I'm editing it for 2 hours or 2.5 hours. I'm really digging into the episode, and there's a few of them where I'm like, if I have to keep editing this thing, I'm done. There are a few
Yeah.
that are like, John knows, he used to edit a podcast. One of my favorites, I suppose, that really got me rolling, and this was before we went to YouTube, and I wish that we were on YouTube, or at least recorded the videos so I could put up a reel later, but there was an episode where Amanda's camera wouldn't come on until, like, for whatever reason, she was just procrastinating, and we're getting going, and she
Oh,
turns her camera on at the last second, and she is dressed up full costume Weird Al Yankovic, and I
yeah.
lost it. That
Yep.
was
That was
a
good.
good moment. I like episode number 1, because we're doing this, and then I like what was it, episode number oh shoot, I have to almost look. When did you come on, Amanda? I thought, was it like episode 4 or 5?
5,
I don't
I think.
remember.
Yeah, but one of our early episodes, very shortly after we started doing it, Amanda reached out and she's like, hey, I want to do this. I want to jump on. And I was like, hey, yeah, that's cool. So we just got to get mom into tambourine or something and get her on, and we have the whole family.
No, because
Uh-oh.
every episode will be about Neil Diamond or Barry Manilow, and
We'll have to,
we'll never talk about
we'll have to
anything else.
watch it a little bit. Yeah.
So
I mean, I still
Weird
don't
Al-
play much
go ahead.
cowbell or harmonica. So
The Weird Al episode was actually going to be my answer to the second question, my favorite moment overall in the podcast. Just because there was no video and just having it as audio only, just Rick and Tim cracking up at, for 5 minutes. That the first 5 minutes of the episode are just complete nonstop laughter, and it's just audibly is hilarious. Like, I was driving in my car that day and I was just laughing at you guys laughing. It's hilarious to me. And now when you go into like Apple Podcasts and stuff, Tim's actually uploaded a side-by-side picture of Weird Al and a screenshot of you, Amanda. So now when you go
You
into
did?
the podcast
That's
directory,
right.
yes, you can
I-
actually see it. Yes.
I think there was 2 episodes that I went in and changed the cover art. And I think the Weird Al Yankovic was one, and then we had a Thanksgiving episode that I put a cartoon turkey on.
It's turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I forgot all about that.
I wish
Well, it's
Weird
fun
Al,
when you do that.
Weird Al would see that one and reach out to us.
We've done a few episodes, primarily, well, they've all been Spin the Wheel of Musicians, where we have talked about, and I'm kind of getting ahead, I think, a little bit, but we'll get there, I suppose. So I'll just let John keep going.
Okay. Did you
no
tag
worries,
him?
no
Did you
worries.
tag Weird Al?
I don't remember if I tagged him or not, because I don't know if I don't know if he has what is it? Instagram account.
Yeah, he does.
have
Yeah.
one? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I'd have to go look.
Wah wah.
Be pretty
Oh,
funny
well.
if you did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Be pretty funny if you did. Yeah, so what would be favorite moment from the podcast in the last 2 years so far? I'll go to you first, Amanda.
Weird Al for sure.
Yeah.
I think that was the best one, because I kind of knew that I was going to do it, but I lost track of time, And I literally, that day, I ran to like the nearest store. I was dragging my feet on it. And I was like, I'm just going to do it because I think it's going to be hilarious. I ran to the nearest store and I tried to find like clear aviator sunglasses like he has.
Yeah.
All I could find were like yellow tinted ones. And so the whole time I'm doing the podcast, like everything's yellow tinted and it was just like throwing me off. So I had to take them off after a while. And then I did my hair in like these really tight little curls. And then later, Tim, you thought that was a wig, apparently.
I did. Yeah, I think
That was great.
I was like, because I've never seen you with your hair like that. So I was like, oh, it's got to be a wig.
No. And then I got like a really cheap like Hawaiian shirt, which I ended up returning afterward anyway.
Nice. That's the way to
and then
do
I
it.
took eyeliner and I put a little mustache.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if it was eyeliner for the
Yeah.
mustache. Yeah.
It was eyeliner and then I did like a little goatee. So, yeah. I just remember I was like, before we recorded that episode, I was like all ready to go. And my husband and I sat at the dinner table to have like lunch. And he's like, I can't even look at you. I can't even take you seriously right now. Like, I had to like keep looking away from me every time he ate because he was like, he would just bust out laughing. It was hilarious. Yeah. That was my favorite.
That was good for sure.
Yeah. Favorite
How
moment.
about you, Rick? Any funny moments or bloopers that come to mind for you?
That just the
Or
Weird
favorite
Al
moment.
one. Oh,
Yeah.
the Weird Al was the best. Can't be any.
Yeah.
I don't think there was anything that beat it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Nope.
Probably the same for you too, Tim.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the funniest. I'm trying to think back to something else. I mean, again, in the magic of editing, there is usually some really good banter at the very, very beginning, whether it's before we kind of do our alignment claps or just shortly after. There's just a lot of funny moments that we laugh, but it doesn't make it into the final episode necessarily because we've been trying to stick within that 60-minute window for the episode, and to fill it with 10 minutes of laughter that probably won't get conveyed to the listening audience. You cut that out and it gets lost. Yeah. But yeah, for sure the Weird Al episode, I'll always remember that one because that was just so funny.
Yeah.
Yep.
That seems to be that's the universal pick. I love it.
That's I think it's gotten some pretty good listens.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
Well, I mean, it's gotten average. I shouldn't say pretty good.
Okay. That's real disappointing. Thank you for that.
Hasn't hit the million mark yet.
Boo.
Yeah. I'm sure it would do better if it was video.
Video.
recorded.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
if that one was video, that one would have been amazing.
100%.
But speaking of picks, I'll move right on into the next question here because you guys haven't talked a lot about them so far in the podcast. But what is everyone's favorite pick to use? Either like name, brand, or thickness, or whatever.
I just
you want me to go?
handy dandy pandemic guitar podcast picks. So
Yeah,
There
I
you
have
go.
some as well. Yeah,
yeah.
I
Can't
have
go
one
wrong.
too.
plug it. Yeah.
I use basically
How about
two
you,
different.
Rick?
I use two different picks. I use these. Let me see. Who are they made by?
Guitar
This is a
Center.
Dunlap.
Box.
No, Dunlap pick. It's pretty popular.
Dunlap,
It's a jazz pick. And then my favorite one is this one. And this is another Dunlap.
Yeah.
Don't they make
You see
tennis
it
rackets?
I think they make it. Well, I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
no,
they
this is
probably
Jim-
make a lot of
Make 'em.
things.
Oh.
Yeah,
Variety of things at a.
yeah. But this is
Sure.
I use stiff picks. I don't
Gotcha.
like the thin ones. I think this is 1.5 extra thick. I think so.
Oh wow. Yeah.
It's a very, very thick pick. So, and the same thing with this jazz pick here. These are pretty common in the industry. The only thing is sometimes I can't hold on to them all the time.
Sure.
So,
Now,
this
what
one here's-
constitutes a jazz pick? Is it just sparkly and have to make
goes
your
with your
hands do
jazz
this
hands.
while you play?
no, this is actually the number. If you look at it, it says Jazz 3 on there.
Jazz.
That's
3.
the name of the pick.
Okay.
So
Oh, nice.
I know a lot of famous guitarists use them. I've used them. They're pretty
Yeah.
common, and it's just called a Jazz 3 pick. So
Oh, okay, gotcha. I very early on in my guitar playing days, I got turned on to Jimmy Dunlop's like nylon picks because the plastic ones just kept shredding on my guitars. But the nylon picks, the 0.88 millimeters were the ones that I used, kind of these dark dove gray kind of Jimmy Dunlop picks, and they're indestructible. Never had one break on me, anything like that. They are my favorite picks to use. I don't have any on me right now, but I'm as primitive as can be right now here in Argentina. I have a guitar, nothing electric, no amps, nothing. I just have a nylon string guitar. But
wow.
yeah, Jimmy Dunlop's my favorite picks, like hands down, and they're usually pretty cheap too. How about you, Tim?
I use primarily 2 picks. I do have a little fishing tackle case here full of picks and and some slides and stuff like that. But primarily, I mean, obviously the best pick in the world, guaranteed to make your playing 1.00001% better. The Pandemic guitar pick there. They're thin. This next pick that I'm going to do, I'm going to try to get a thicker pick. But the one that my go-to, the one I love, and it's a 1.34 millimeter, the Metallica White Fang. Love these things.
Nice.
I probably have 30 or 40 of them, just in case my cat wants to take off with my picks.
Sure. Oh yeah.
But yeah, no. But I just love these picks because it's got a texture to it, so it stays put really well. And I mean, they're just sturdy and they feel good. I love this pick.
Little question here that I didn't have in the notes, but I'll ask here. Tim, do we have anything going on as far as a pick design for year 2?
Yeah, there's
year 3 actually.
Yeah, well, it would be year 3. What we're going to end up having to do is a year 2 pick and then quickly a year 3 pick, because I my goal was to have a pick for every year that we do the podcast.
Yeah.
So we can't just skip a year. I got to have a pick. I have an idea of what I want as far as the logo or the design and everything like that. It's just trying to find a company that sells the pick and will print on the pick and doesn't want a ridiculous amount of money. Because let's be honest, these picks, I think year 1 picks, which are these guys here that I showed you, I think we bought 200 of them. And they got divided between me and Dad. And then I pretty much, for the most part, have a majority of mine left. But I know Dad then split his stash with Amanda. And both of us, just as we're out and about, we give picks out. We're like, hey, do you play the guitar? Nope. Well, how about listening to a guitar podcast? Here you go. It's kind of a cool little thing. So, yeah, I have some ideas. I just need to sit down and find a company that can do them for a good price, because we're not making any money. We don't have any sponsors. This is just something we do for fun.
I thought John was sponsoring us.
By listening.
I wish. I sponsor by listening.
But with that said, though, we are working on a swag shop. So we'll have some T-shirts, and I know for sure we'll have T-shirts. We'll have hoodies. And we will even have like a picnic blanket. So if you go out to a concert and you need to bring like a picnic blanket to sit on, you can sit on our logo and make it smell real good. So
nice.
There's a couple other things that I would like to put out there, but we're working on it.
I'd like to see that during the. I'd like to see it during the Joe Bonamassa concert. Put out that blanket.
Well, we're going to be in chairs, but
you guys need shirts. You need shirts for that.
Yeah, but you guys could just fold it up.
I actually put the store up. It's not public yet, but the store is up. We do have some T-shirts with our logo on the front. I think 5 colors and just about every size that you can imagine. And I think I ordered a total of 7 shirts, and they should be here. Well, by the time this releases, I should have them in hand. So I want to see what the quality and the print is before I sit there and say, hey, go out here. Because if people do go out and I get the product and it's not good,
Right.
Yeah.
that's the idea. So hopefully, we'll have some swag for people, and that's an easy way to support us. I don't necessarily know. I don't think I ever want to go into like the Patreon thing or anything where we're asking our listeners to put in $5 a month or $10 a month. I would much rather have some swag, and you can support us one time by buying a T-shirt or a hat or something like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Dig it. That's really cool.
Yeah.
It sounds like you think that.
What?
The excitement. Oh, wow.
No.
That's
Well,
pretty
I already
cool.
knew about it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I knew about it
it's
too.
not new news to me by any means. But I think that'll be cool.
True.
I
Yeah.
think it'd be a better idea if you had shirts with the logo on the back. Because in situations where you're like at a concert, nobody's going to see it in the front. They're all going to be behind you.
Yeah. Well, so I was actually going to do a landing page on like a website landing page that had all of our contact information as far as like where you can go, YouTube link, Spotify, Apple, all that information. So, and put that on the back so that when you're at a concert, somebody can scan the QR code and get your information. But because I procrastinated, and the next concert that I'm going to, I was like, "Ooh, I don't know if I have enough time to throw all this together." So
Sure.
I'll just do the basic T-shirt this time. And if the T-shirts come back and they're good, then I will do another T-shirt with a QR code on the back, and I'll get those for us, so that when we go to concerts or whatever. I mean,
The back of the T-shirt needs to have Amanda's tagline. Like, keep practicing or don't. We won't tell.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a
Oh, yeah.
good idea.
Yeah. That is good.
Yeah.
I have one. every
All
now and
right,
again.
John,
Yeah.
you're a half member.
Yeah.
You're an adopted family member at this point.
Life goals. So I asked the guitar pick question because you use a pick to play the guitar. So what riff or song have you guys learned that you love the best? Like, what's the favorite lick or song that you guys have learned that you're like, I'm so proud that I've learned this one. So proud that I've learned this one.
That one's easy for me. The up to and up through the first solo of Metallica 1. I've always wished I knew how to play that, and I've gotten it to the point now where I don't even have to look to play it. And so what I need to do is move on to the second solo, but I haven't gotten to that part. But I've recently been going on to we talked about it last episode, Dad. The guy's name is Andy Paoli. He's got some things that he's doing. I think he's doing lessons in the caged system right now. And
Right.
he's coming out with some really good stuff. So I've been spending a lot of time trying to learn some of his riffs and stuff like that. So, but yeah,
Cool.
Metallica
How about
1.
Metallica 1? It's a banger of a song. How about you, Amanda? Favorite song you've learned?
Probably just Smoke on the Water. I think that may actually be the only one that I know. So,
Hey, it
Yeah.
counts.
Yeah.
It's every 14-year-old's first song.
right?
Yeah.
Better than Mission Impossible.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
Throwing
Saying.
some shade.
I mean, that was
Knife
the
in the
first
back.
thing I ever learned.
Yeah, well,
Does Smoke in the Water sound exactly like Dust on the Guitar?
probably. No.
Is it Blackbird by the Beatles? It's kind of an acoustic light. I swear that's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Blackbird
been-
is an
yeah.
acoustic.
Blackbird.
Yeah, I think that's the one I've been trying to learn, just finger picking. And it kind of like I kind of like, oh yeah, that sounds kind of like it, but apparently nobody else realizes that is what the song is. So I don't know.
How about
That
you,
happens.
Rick? What's your favorite Stevie Ray Vaughan song you've learned?
Well,
Which one doesn't he know?
Yeah.
I want to get away from Stevie for a second, but I think the
Sure.
hardest song I ever learned was "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star." Everybody's give me the serious look. No, I
What's
don't
that
know.
smell?
I think
Is
one
that
of the
toast?
what? Oh,
No.
I think one of the hardest songs that I've ever learned was sitting down, and it took me a long time. And I hate to say this, "Stairway to Heaven."
Oh, yeah. I've tried to just figure out, translate some tab. Nope. No,
Yeah.
thank you. Next.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot of arpeggios, and it's just it's a very good song. It's very it's but it is difficult. So
The #1 song banned in all guitar stores.
that's right. Yes,
Right.
that's right. Yeah. As for Stevie Ray Vaughan, I think Pride and Joy or Mary Had a Little Lamb, I think is the other one that I like. I also like his some of his older stuff. The where he does Pride and Joy. He uses what they call a walking bass line through the song.
Texas
I like
Shuffle.
yeah, it's a shuffle, walking bass line because
Yeah.
he used the bass.
Yeah.
It almost sounds like two different guitars there. I do like that style. I like the walking bass line with the shuffle back, and all that other stuff. So even without the shuffle, it's pretty good. So
My favorite song that I've learned is Freebird, all the way through.
Oh,
Leonard
Totally
Skinner.
kidding.
to learn a song all the way through. I want to be there someday.
Totally kidding. No, my favorite song that I've learned is from one of my favorite guitarists right now is Andy Timmons. He's a session, or not a session guitar, but a instrumentalist like Steve Vai and Satriani and these guys. And he has a song that's called "Ghost of You" that is really just banger of a instrumental. And I've learned up through like what would be, I guess, the verse and chorus, and then the second verse, and then the chorus, and then it goes into this wild, crazy solo that I'm like, okay, bro, you got it. I can play up until that point, but it's a cool riff, cool song. So,
There's that Chris Stapleton song that you play, like you just make it sound so legit.
I was
And
wrong. Yeah,
I
that's
was
the name of it.
wrong.
Kind
Yeah,
of a
I have to ask you
bluesy-
every time.
Bluesy song. Yeah.
And I've tried. Like I got the chords, I got the notes now, but I cannot get the rhythm.
Yeah.
I just can't do it.
It's a fun little jam. Speaking of Chris Stapleton, maybe he ends up on the Wheel of Musicians for Tim at some point. But I wanted to ask each of you.
You know what? We'll
is
put it on the Wheel of Musicians for you. And then when it lands, you can come on and tell us all about Chris Stapleton.
Cool. I'll
There you
make
go.
sure to download everything from Wikipedia.
It's the most popular AI website on the planet right now.
It is. Yes, it is.
Wikipedia, baby. But I wanted to ask each of you, because you each have now had at least one guitarist that has been chosen from the Wheel of Musicians. What's the favorite, your favorite one that you've learned about from someone else on the show so far?
From someone else? It has to be somebody else's pick.
Yeah, someone else's pick. Yeah, or your own. Like if
Yeah, just what's your favorite wheel?
Amanda, you're the only one that does the research, so
Oh,
I know.
your favorite
Wow.
one, your favorite one that you've either heard your dad or Tim talk about, or the favorite one that you were like, oh, I learned this extra stuff about JB Brubaker or whatever. So
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's one of my picks, and that's Ryan E. Parrish. I think that was my favorite one. And I think that was
Sure.
because it took a little bit more digging to find a lot of it, not really even a lot, but a decent amount of information on him, because he's just a quiet dude. He's not, he's not out there. There's not a lot of information out there. So I had to do some digging. So I don't know. I thought that was kind of cool.
how about you, Rick?
I would say either No, it has to be somebody else. Can't be
Well,
something
I
I
didn't pick
pick.
somebody else. Well, I
Oh,
picked
did
somebody
you?
that I picked.
It can be whoever you want.
I just changed the
Whoever
rules.
you like learning about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
Can
think
you
Stevie Ray
remember?
Vaughan. Huh? Thanks. Thanks. I think Stevie Ray Vaughan would probably be my best, and
But Dad, you knew everything that there is to know about Stevie Ray Vaughan already. That was your favorite?
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's my favorite. He,
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't play a Gibson, but he plays a Strat, and I do like Strats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, in all fairness, though, I mean, out of the picks so far, SRV is probably the one pick that Dad actually listens to. So, of course, that's going to be more interesting to musicians that, like, oh, hey, cool, I learned something, but I'm not going to go listen to their music because that's not my style.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell me you're talking
Fair.
about J.B. Brubaker without telling me that you're talking about J.B. Brubaker.
No, I'm actually not. I was just trying to, I don't know, give Dad an alibi for picking SRV. That's all I was doing.
Okay.
As far as my favorite episodes, I actually would say Weird Al was the funnest, but I would have to give it to also to Ryan E. Parrish for that one. And the reason why is because we just decided to have a little fun, do this Wheel of Musicians thing. I didn't really know if it would do anything. And Ryan's the only artist that actually hit us up on Instagram, retweeted everything. Like, he was a huge supporter. He even said he would love to come on and be a guest.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, this is cool. I don't think at that time we were quite ready to just start bringing on guests. But when we get to that point, I would definitely reach out and be like, hey, I'm sure that you don't remember us, but I don't know. Maybe he actually listens to the podcast. I have no idea. The Weird Al was fun. And the Dave Grohl episode, as soon as that one hit YouTube, that one blew up. That's our number one view on YouTube. So the fact that one of them we got artist feedback from, one of them was just a ton of laughs, and the other one getting that many views says, wow, okay, people are actually listening. People are into these artists. So those are the three that I like the best.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
That's a great pick. I wanted to. It's a great pick. No, it is great picks. I guess
Great
I
picks.
should say. I wanted to end with one last question here, as we're approaching year 3 of Pandemic Guitar Podcast. What would be some podcast goals that you guys would want to see in the next year? Like, whether it's like a listen count, a viewership count on YouTube, or guests, or anything like that. Something you guys want to try to achieve in the next year.
I'll go first if I can, because I have. Did you say no?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. No, I kind of have an idea in my mind of where I would like to go. I would obviously, like you said, anybody who's doing a podcast, you want people to listen. You want to increase your listenership. You want to increase viewership. What I want to do is work our way to where we can get artists on and do like actual interviews. I would like to get to the point, especially if you get an artist that comes on the show and they're playing their own material that they own. And I say, hey man, can I play 10 seconds or 30 seconds of this song? YouTube can go stick it, because I've got a yes from the artist, right? So that's kind of one thing I want to go. I would like to get more. I'd like to do the merch thing. I'd like to have fun. I'd like to be able to use this podcast as a platform to be able to go do things like the NAMM show, or take a trip out to, I believe it's Fort Wayne,
Yeah.
I believe
Street
there's
puddle?
a special, Street Puddle. I'd love to be able to take a trip out there and do some videos and just have some fun. You know, like I'd like to be able to use this for that. But I guess I never really actually asked if Amanda or Dad had any goals or wants from the podcast, because I just kind of assumed that they wanted to put up with me for an hour every 2 weeks.
It's debatable some days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
I know.
Yeah. Well, Dad, but I mean, why don't you go?
All right, I'll go. I'd like to see more. Not, I'm not going to say professional musicians, but musicians that are playing around and around town, or just the jam type musicians just coming on and just telling us, what guitar they use, strings, picks, equipment, something like that. I'd like to see rig rundown, like what does an artist use, I mean, a lot of that stuff is interesting, like I did name, one thing you missed, Tim, was the Joe Bonamassa concert on IPTV.
Oh,
and
yeah,
the
I
first
did miss
thing,
that. Yeah.
yeah, and first like 5 minutes they shot the Dumble amp that he uses. They had like about 2 or 3 minutes in, they showed you the Dumble amp and stuff like that he uses, which is pretty neat from my aspect, But I'd like to see what other artists use. Go ahead.
The intro song, by the way, was like 15 minutes long.
No. Just before the intro. Just before the intro, they showed a picture. They showed a picture of an amp, and that amp was a Dumble, the one that was on stage there that he was playing through. I mean, I'd like to see that. I'd like to product reviews, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, because here's the thing: is that not everybody is going to afford a Dumble or a Marshall Plexi or anything like that. How about doing something with amp sims? What kind of amp sims do people use, or how do they reproduce the music? That sort of stuff. So something
That would
interesting.
be cool. That'd be cool. Like I like I'm not a fan of them, but they get huge views on YouTube is like unboxing videos, and I'm working on an unboxing video for my earplugs that I just bought, because that's something. Hey, I'm interested in this product, and you go out to YouTube and you find, oh, hey, somebody's like actually like, okay, this is the package I get. I open it up. This is what I see. This is my initial thoughts. That's something that I wouldn't mind doing.
Right.
That's cool.
I mean,
Cool.
it's a thing where I would just rather see, because be perfectly honest with you, I walk into Guitar Box down there, and they got a pedal board that's like 3 feet by 4 foot of all the pedals imaginable on it, and people use it all, all the pedals and stuff like that. And to me, the only pedal I really use I use a wah, which I like, which I have right now, and I also have a Tube Screamer. I mean, those are my two main pedals that I like, but I do use amp sims to create some of the sounds. So, I just like to know what everybody's using, and I have found some really good sims out there. So, and maybe I'll do something with those and do a show on it. Never know.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
that's a good idea.
One thing that I would like to see, if you guys are able to get it done, because it was talked about for a while, is that 60-second song. All three of you guys being able to play something live.
Yeah.
You were good.
I thought about that not too long ago, and I'm like, I don't even remember the chords that we were starting with.
No.
I'd have to go back and
C and G or something like that. If I
Yeah,
remember correctly.
It was ACD. It was
Or
A.
ACD. Yeah.
Yeah, A minor.
Yeah.
Then it went to C. Then it went to D.
Look, my part is super easy. When we were back
Yeah.
out there in October, Dad showed it to me. I was like, this is all that I have to do? He goes, yeah. I'm like, well, why don't we just do this now? And he was like, and Dad was like, I don't think Tim remembers his, so it wouldn't.
Would you just send it to me? Just send it to me, and I'll start playing around with it again.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
We
And it can
yeah,
count
we
to-
gotta make good on our promises 3 years later.
For the whole
Yeah.
one person.
It could
who
count
cares.
towards your 10 riffs that you learn in a year. So
Perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there you
there we go. That's perfect.
Checks 2 boxes. Checks 2 boxes.
I like it.
Ah.
Amanda, what do you want to see?
You know, it'd be cool to have somebody on, obviously. I think that you should look into the Iowa-based band, the Nadas.
I've heard of them.
Oh, they're
Yeah.
huge. They're huge in Iowa, okay? I think it'd be great to have them on or have somebody on from there. I feel like they would probably support it. You know, they're not massive by any means, but they're big around the Midwest.
Sure.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that would be something like that would be cool. Maybe just some more like interaction with people, I think, or kind of stuff coming in from people or feedback. We get a little bit here and there, but I think more would be nice. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like more-
Feedback would be awesome.
Yeah, but I think we need to work on the social media game a little bit. I mean, not that I really know 100% because I don't have a social media, but I hear that it's not very consistent. So I think
No,
needs to be more consistent.
it is actually. So John and I talked last night, and I was asking him about this. I'm like, bro, I need your help. I mean, in one way, shape, or form, I need your help because I just I will sit there in my mind and be like, oh yeah, I got to post this on social media, and then I start thinking about hashtags, and I'm like, I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
You know?
All you have to do is have a note in your phone and then have the exact same hashtags every time and copy and paste them.
Yeah, no, and that's what I need to do is when I get done editing the episode, go ahead and pre-create all of the stuff for social media. And probably if I could look into something where I can just go ahead and do it and then schedule it so that it comes out at a certain day or time, that's probably what I need to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and I was saying, even if somebody would just be like, hey, get your dang social media post out.
I mean, I kind of did just say that indirectly about literally every.
Yeah, but at the time of it, you can't. Oh, he just fell off. The host just fell off. Apparently, this episode is so bad. The host, our guest host, just said, "Nope, I'm out."
Today is just full of like technical difficulties. It's like Mercury in retrograde right now.
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's weird.
I was just going to say the same thing.
Is Mercury in the
Where did-
microwave?
Where did he go?
I don't
Is he coming back?
I would assume he's coming back as long as his internet works.
Yeah, because he's in the Argentinas.
He is out there in Argentina INET. I have no idea what happened there. He's been nice and smooth, so I don't know if somebody recycled the modem or what. But anyway, let's wrap this episode up. What do you say?
Sure.
Okay. That's
All right. Obviously, a big shout out and thank you to John for jumping on and hosting the episode. Unfortunately, as I just said, he popped off, probably an internet connection issue, so he'll hear it when this episode comes out, I assume. And obviously, our next episode, I'm excited about it because it's going to be right after the Greta Van Fleet concert. And we're going to do Wheel of Musicians, where I'm going to cover Josh Kinska and Greta Van Fleet, because I made the rookie mistake of thinking Josh Kinska was the guitarist, and he's not.
He's the
the actual lead singer.
Yeah.
I don't know why that happened. And I got a text message from John. He lost power. He's rebooting now.
Oh, yikes.
Ah,
So real quick on that Josh Pinska thing. So in the beginning, you had said that our people on the wheel did not have to be guitarists. So
No, I did, but I feel like I've been, like in my head, I'm thinking he's the lead guitarist, and he's not.
No, I thought that's why you chose him, because he was a vocalist. But
no, but yes, because he's the vocalist. No, I'm a big fan of Greta Van Fleet, so his name is on the wheel, but I'm going to be talking about the whole band.
cool.
okay. With the earplugs, right?
Yeah, and yes, and I will talk about the earplugs, because I am really excited to see how well these earplugs work. And I'll tell you what, they're going to need to be good quality earplugs if they're going to last for the Joe Bonamassa concert later this year.
Yes. Yeah. It's in November 30th, I believe.
November 30th. Yep. Yep. So
tickets are sold out for that thing too.
it wouldn't surprise me. I know that as soon as I saw those tickets, well, I think I delayed a little bit, but I know I saw that concert and I bought them pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So, Amanda, do you have an outro for us?
Yeah, of course I do.
Take it away.
Okay. Thanks for listening to our very special anniversary episode. We appreciate you putting up with us for the last 2 years. If you'll let us, we'd like to continue to do this thing. So please reach out to us and let us know what you'd like to hear on future episodes. You can contact us on Instagram at Pandemic Guitar, by email, pandemicguitar@icloud.com, on Facebook, and now on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. We hope you continue to tune into our guitar-related shenanigans in the coming years. But if you don't after this episode, we're blaming it on John. As always, keep on playing or don't, we won't tell. And Daddy's not here to see that. He's not here to hear that.
I was just thinking this whole time, I'm like, man, this is the most professional outro I think you've ever done. And then there's the
Zinger.
bomb right there.
Yeah.
The zinger. All right.
Okay.
I guess I'll see everybody in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Take it easy, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.